If you're not comfortable doing something, we check in and make sure that's not just fear talking, because being comfortable doesn't grow your business.
How do we level up? Level up ourselves and level up our business. Well, it's going to take being uncomfortable.
What energy are you bringing to your business? Is it all nose to the grindstone, got to get this, got to get the next sale? Is it very serious? Well, how many people do you think want to work with that energy?
Though I think that's one people don't think about very often. Because you're right, it is about grinding and working, and hustle culture is taken over, and everyone's stressed, financial worries, and all the other things. That often joy is one of the last things we think we need to bring to the table.
I was always the person that thought structure, routine, commitment was the thing that was going to hold me down, pin me down, kill my creativity. And this year, I've learned. You have heard Laura's top 5 truths for 2025, and you're about to hear mine. The reason we do this is we learn so much through our podcasting and just by being in business. One of the things we always say is being in business for yourself is the greatest personal development journey you can ever be on. We learn so much about ourselves just by showing up every day, doing the things that being in business requires us to do. So, here's my number 1 truth. You don't build a business by being comfortable.
Oh, okay. Tell me more. Tell me more, because absolutely you're correct.
Well, Laura, I hear through the year, and I have heard more this year than ever, well, I'm not comfortable doing that. This is from people who are in business, quite often running very successful businesses, and others who are just starting out, building. Well, no, I'm not comfortable with that decision. Now, this is something we talked about a little in the past episode. There's a difference between intuition and fear. If you're not comfortable doing something, we check in and make sure that's not just fear talking, because being comfortable doesn't grow your business.
Yeah. Oh, it's absolutely true. It takes a bit of that discomfort to push through to the next level. And that's what we should all be striving for, going forward into a new year is about how do we level up? Level up ourselves and level up our business. Well, it's going to take being uncomfortable. I mean, certainly starting this podcast wasn't comfortable for me. So many years ago, it was not something I had on my bucket list, but yet here we are, and it's one of the best things we get to do.
It is, isn't
Yeah.
it? It really is. I mean, another example that comes to mind is, when we work with people, women, in personal branding and thought leadership development, and they're running a workshop. So there's all kinds of discomfort around that if they're new to public speaking or to speaking in a group. And then there's the beautiful example of, well, they're paying to come to the workshop, so I don't want to pitch them on anything else. I don't want to sell them. This came across my desk just a few weeks ago. I don't want to sell them on something that they've already just paid for. They paid, so I should just leave it at that. Ladies, what are you doing? You must always give somebody the opportunity to continue working with you. Imagine how we're leaving our client, our community member, our audience, leaving them hanging. They've paid because they want what you have. Show them how they can continue working with you.
Yeah, and I think you've just brought up that one biggest piece of uncomfortableness most of us face, which is around sales, right? Oh, we hate the money conversation. It is so uncomfortable. By the way, we've got some great past podcasts that talk and delve into money mindset. Please go watch some of those if this is an area you struggle into. And it's very normal. I think it's very normal that sales makes people feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. And we have to be compassionate with ourselves and give ourselves a bit of space. And there's no shoulds in this. Okay, so we're having a bit of a light-hearted conversation about, don't do that. But there's other things you can do to get around it. So for one instance is, stop forcing yourself to do something that doesn't feel good. Rather ask, what would make this feel exciting? How can I think about this? that would actually encourage me to do it because I'm excited to do it. It's a mindset
Yeah.
shift.
Yes, and it speaks into sort of those baby steps that we can take too. Like we don't have to do a massive leap from never speaking in public to getting on a stage in front of 1,000 people at a conference, right? We don't have to make that leap. We can first speak up in a meeting, then speak up in a smaller event, and then host a webinar or maybe a series, maybe get on a podcast. Maybe like take step by step. That helps the uncomfortable feel more normal. Because then the next step isn't so huge and isn't so frightening, going back to your word of fear, right? It doesn't elicit so much fear because it's like, okay, it's just the next step. Oh, it's just 100 more people than I saw last time. Eventually that just becomes fine and normal and okay.
Yes, yes, it's our favorite word, familiar. It's not hard, it's unfamiliar. It's not scary. Well, maybe it is, but could it just be unfamiliar? And if you think about it that way, then it becomes a whole lot softer to lean into because the unfamiliar soon becomes familiar once you do it enough times.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. So good. And sometimes I don't want to is I'm scared to. So just acknowledge that that's the resistance. And once you've seen it for what it is, it can often dissipate. Just as simple as that. Going to the second one. Having fun is as important as anything else in your business. And the reason I say that is fun might be defined in different ways for different people. But fun means that you're topping yourself up. You're enjoying yourself and your energy is matched. What energy are you bringing to your business? Is it all nose to the grindstone, got to get this, got to get the next sale? Is it very serious? Well, how many people do you think want to work with that energy? So what energy are you bringing to your business? Maybe a bit of fun, lightheartedness, joy might make you that little bit more attractive. What do you reckon?
That's a good one because I think that's one people don't think about very often. Because you're right, it is about grinding and working, and hustle culture is taken over, and everyone's stressed, financial worries, and all the other things. That often joy is one of the last things we need to bring to the table. But you're right, if you want to increase retention over, with staff or other members of your team, or even just you not burning out, you need to bring some joy.
Remain curious is number 3.
Yes, you often speak about curiosity and the value of that. Yeah, dig into that more.
Well, quite often it's your strongest belief that needs questioning the most. So go through life believing things rigidly. And what if that belief was not completely true? This is where conflict comes from, and this is where we get ourselves into trouble or stop ourselves from doing something or saying no to opportunities simply because that's the way we're hardwired, that's the way we've always done life. And we must remember that the thinking that got us here is not the thinking that is going to get us where we want to be. And when we remain curious around our own belief systems, and our own way of being, that's when we can say yes to new things and create new opportunities.
Yeah. Oh, I really like that one. Remain curious. It's really a key sort of principle, I think, to have. And I've spoken about this before, is I like to think of myself as agnostic as much as possible. Like just not strongly holding so firm to one belief that I can't see other things as also being possible.
Yes, I'm right is where growth goes to die.
Yeah, we stall. We stall a lot. We stall our own progress when we are so stuck in a belief that we cannot see change. And often this stalls a lot of older businesses too. I think it's really important to see this side of it. Like some older businesses have been around for a long time. We've always done it this way. No, it's the way we've always done it. No, we don't need the new technology. We don't need this, new system. We don't want this new thing. And that's where their business stalls and can sometimes be the demise of a business because others come along, other competition comes along, and they do have all the technology and new ideas interwoven into their business, and they can take over. So that's remaining curious, being open, being available to other people's perspectives, bringing other people on the team from diverse backgrounds, ages, races, genders, so that you have those diverse voices in your head too really helps. So even if you're a solo entrepreneur, I like somebody talked about bringing on their own board of directors. Like even if you run your own business, can you bring a group of people around you where you can have high level discussions that do come from a variety of different backgrounds so that you can think differently and be open to new ideas and just, yeah, like you said, stay curious. Yeah. Good one.
Yes. Yes. And what you've described is the fixed beliefs. Look, think about it this way. Fixed beliefs create fixed income.
Ooh, that's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one. Fixed beliefs create fixed income. Yeah, so there you go.
There it
If
is.
you're happy to stay at your fixed income, then hey, who are we to say your beliefs are wrong? But we're just saying you're gonna get stuck there.
Should we go to number 4?
Yeah, let's have it.
Structure is freeing.
Yes,
Structure is
this is the one I
freeing.
struggle with. I struggle with this one. Yeah, come on, tell me why, because I
Okay.
need to hear it again.
So I was always the person that thought structure, routine, commitment, was the thing that was going to hold me down, pin me down, kill my creativity. And this year, I've learned that the opposite is true. When I have structure, it gives me a container to work around. First of all, it relieves me from decision fatigue. Number one, I have a lot less decisions to make because I already know the high level plan. So if we're talking about a business plan or we're talking about a schedule of work, I know I'm going to come to my desk and this is what I'm going to work on today. So I don't have to faff around and wonder about my priorities and get overwhelmed by all the things that are going on because it's already in its container.
Yeah. Yeah. It is that it's the Steve Jobs approach, right? It's the wearing the same thing every single day, so that's one less decision to make. Yeah. That's part of his system. Was part of his system.
And
Just
systems is something that we share in our community of amazing women in the Founders Circle. Systems is one of 6 important steps to building a successful personal brand and becoming the thought leader. And it's for this very reason because systems free us up. It allows us to have more creativity. Routines don't kill creativity, they protect them from the decision fatigue, the overthinking, the procrastination. It's so helpful just to have that. So I've really embodied that and thought and learned how freeing it can be. Yeah, I mean, if you think about artists, writers, successful entrepreneurs around the world, they all have a system. Those that you admire, think about the ones that instantly come to mind. They all have a system. So it's less of what am I supposed to be working on and more let me create something brilliant.
yeah. 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 The freedom in the systems, I think that is a quite a unique concept. And I appreciate that you shared that because that's one I want to build more into for sure, my futures. What systems do we need to put into place to make everything else easier?
And it gives us that permission to not be trying to do it all at once. That grasshopper effect, where it's like when you're working on one thing, there's something in your back of the mind that says, shouldn't I be working on that? Yet
Yep.
when you have a structure system, you know what you're working on because that other thing is going to have its own space and time too.
Yeah.
And so it just
Yeah.
eases the nervous system to go, cool, I'm in the right place right now. I'm doing what I'm meant to be doing.
Yeah. Because often we spend so much time jumping back and forth. And we can say women are famous at multitasking, but we're actually just task switching. When I realized that, I realized how inefficient I was being. And I'm so guilty of it. You know, the bing comes from the email or the WhatsApp, and you immediately check it and see, oh, what's coming. And you can switch something. And then sometimes I'm like, oh my God, I was working on this and I got sidetracked doing something totally different when my first task was far bigger priority. And it can happen. And it happens all the time. And that loses and drains us of our efficiency. So, yeah, it's an important one.
Yeah. And the last and definitely not least, the one that I'm holding dearest to my heart and is very recent, is number 5. Award winning is deeply personal. And the reason I include this is we share with our audience that when you can win awards, when you can be recognized for your work, which is something that us women don't really put our hands up or step into. And so a part of what we share is, learn how to brag, learn how to be proud of who you are and make that public, share it with people. And that's what award winning is part of. And it's very much, we've talked about this on episode after episode, how this recognition and profile building really helps your personal brand. And this year, I was so grateful to be awarded an award, Mentor of the Year 2025. And it was such a surprise. And what I realized, thank you, what I realized is that, yes, it's good for your personal brand and it's good for business. And it's so much more than that. It's so personal. It just really took me back how touched I was by this recognition. And I think that would be true for everybody who wins an award. And so I just wanted to share that yes, it's a great business strategy, and yet it's so much more than that. It really fills you up, and it really, I believe it's the next building block of who you are in business and how you present.
Yeah. And it can be fuel. It can be fuel when you're feeling, that things get stagnant or you're stressed or overwhelmed. It can help you just be that little fuel to keep going because you're like, oh, right, I was recognized. Like it has impact. What the work I've done has impact. And that's at the end of the day, what we all want is to have impact and to build stuff that does. So yeah, it is a big deal. And we should be going after awards. We should be putting our name forward for awards. We should be networking around in places and in groups that give awards. So let's get part of it and get part of those communities that do recognize you. It's vital. It's a vital part of business. But you're right. We don't think about it. As women, I don't think we make that an important part of it for us. We just want to get the work done.
Absolutely right. Absolutely right. And being an award winner somehow gets you to the table in a way that you weren't before. And I think that's a personal thing. I think that's not what other people are thinking. They were all seeing you at the table. But from my perspective, it feels like, okay, well, yeah, I'm doing the right thing. I'm on track and I'm at the table. I'm being seen. This is what we talk about in our community. Being seen for your greatness. Yeah. And an award is just one fabulous way to really feel like you've been seen. Yes, it's external validation, and wow, how powerful that can be sometimes. It's not something we want to rely on, but it's beautiful when it happens.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And I think when you are working our 6S system that we talk about well and doing all the parts from strategy to storytelling to socials and speaking, then you're becoming exactly more well known. You're becoming the expert in the industry. You're standing out above others who are, quietly just working in the background, and you're putting in that effort. That effort pays off in this way. This is part of the scaling, that you get to scaling and you become known and you become recognized in your industry because of this. And that is what we want people to understand. It's like the system works when you're putting into it, and it's going to keep improving, and then it's going to keep growing, and you're going to keep scaling because you're getting that recognition. And then what happens? More customers come, more partnerships come, more opportunities come, more awards come. Right? And this is how we all keep growing and keep building. So it's an important part of the system to be looking out for, what are you even eligible for? So yeah, awards are deeply personal. and professional. I think they're both. I think they're equally both important for both.
Absolutely. So we'll recap on the 5. You don't build a business by being comfortable. Having fun is as important as anything else in your business. Remain curious. Structure is freeing. And award-winning is deeply personal.
Those are all fantastic, partner. I love your top 5 truths for this year. We are definitely looking forward to what next year is going to bring, the amazing people we are going to speak to on this podcast, the deeper conversations you and I are going to have around personal branding on this podcast, and the more that we can share with our community to help us all level up, grow, find more joy, stay curious, win those awards, and just keep growing and scaling ourselves and our businesses. As women, as I mentioned, build better ones.